Merry Christmas everybody. I've got a nice mug of cocoa, a lovely warm jumper and a nice Santa hat. And with a bit of Christmas magic, we're going to make this set look a bit more festive. Let's get to it. Christmas is a wonderful time of year, capable of turning even the most gruff and burly man into a giant man-sized child. You'd think someone like Superman, the symbol of truth, justice and owning pectoral muscles that should be classified as a war crime, wouldn't really like Christmas all that much. As it turns out though, he does. Like a lot. Like more than he should. Like a scary amount this man loves Christmas. For example, in a comic released in the 1940s, Superman meets Kris Kringle himself after he's accosted by a pair of criminals who knock out his reindeers with some gas. Superman, doing what Superman does best, punches out the criminals and offers to help Santa, carrying his sleigh around the world so that he can deliver presents to all the good girls and boys. I know what you're thinking, is there a picture of this? And the answer is yes. And it's amazing.
Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that he loves Christmas. He could just be helping somebody out.
I can see your point. Maybe Superman was just doing what Superman always does and punching out the bad guys and saving the day. And saving the day in this specific situation just meant carrying Santa's sleigh around the world so there wouldn't be lots of disappointed children. But I'd like to point out that in that same comic, Superman goes and visits a rich person who's very selfish and lectures them on the benefits of being kind to your fellow man. And that person ends up having a change of heart and giving away lots of toys.
That sounds lovely.
That does sound like a lovely story until you think about it from the perspective of the other person. Not from Superman's perspective, from the perspective of the rich person who's just a selfish asshole. Imagine for a moment you're just sat there at like 3 in the morning on Christmas Eve and you hear a window break. And you go outside and there's Superman, an immortal alien demigod you know can flatten a city with his bare hands. And he sits you down and says, I'd like to talk to you for a moment about charity. And there's a very long conversation where he tells you how disappointed he is that you're being so selfish and that he's been watching you from afar and that he doesn't like what he's been hearing. That'd be scary if that was just an ordinary dude breaking into your house and lecturing you and saying, I'm very disappointed that you're so stingy with your money. This is Superman. This is a guy who if he sneezed too hard during that conversation, your skin would fly off. And right, the idea that the guy has a change of heart, it's like, no shit he had a change of heart. The immortal alien demigod who rules over the earth with a benevolent fist is like, I think it would be very nice if you shared your wealth and toys, don't you think? It's like, yeah, Superman. It's probably not going to come off as a threat in Superman's eyes, but when there's a guy doing that, that sounds like a threat.
Especially if he ended it with, you won't want me to have to come back next year and give you this lecture again.
If he says, I wouldn't have to want to put you on my naughty list, would I? Like, who wants to be on like Superman's naughty list? The guy's terrifying. I get that he's a nice guy and that he saves a lot of people, but he has to understand that the nature of like, his abilities means that he's like inherently terrifying.
Karl, I know how these things go. There's more, come on.
There's always more, isn't there? Well, in the Justice League animated TV show, which for anyone who's not seen it, I highly recommend you go and watch. It's probably the best version of the Justice League you're going to see. Superman is shown to love Christmas so much that his adoptive parents wrap his presents in lead wrapping paper so that he can't peek inside.
This little guy was crazy for Christmas. We used to wrap his presents in lead foil so he couldn't peek.
I mean, that makes sense to me. If you got little kid Superman, you don't want him to ruin the surprise.
Yeah, that would make sense if I was talking about a younger version of Superman who's not quite yet fully in control of his powers and that his parents do it so that he doesn't ruin the surprise for himself. I'm not talking about a younger version of Superman. I'm talking about the adult version of Superman because the cartoon shows that his parents still do it when he's an adult to stop him from peeking.
Well, they do it because they know he's going to try and look.
That adult Superman will still try and take a peek at his presents, and it shows you a brief clip of Superman shaking a present, looking at it really intently, and then realising that his X-ray vision doesn't work, and just going, damn, all lead.
Lead.
And it's amazing because the look on Superman's face is one of just abject disappointment. It's like a really needy boyfriend finding out his girlfriend has locked her phone because he keeps reading her texts. It's so bad. But Brad, it gets better because in that same episode, Superman's parents are talking to Martian Manhunter, who Superman invites over for Christmas. And Martian Manhunter asks the Kents, oh, so what was Christmas like here? And they tell the story of like, oh, we had to wrap little Clark's presents in lead. And then Superman cuts off his own parents to say, don't you mean Santa wrapped them?
You mean Santa wrapped them?
Oh, of course, dear.
I don't know about you, but that makes it sound like Superman still believes in Santa. which is perfectly reasonable because Santa definitely exists. He's 100% real and brought all of your presents. Thousands of children, I'm assuming, are watching right now on the new iPads their parents bought them. But I like to think that Superman did that and he cut off his parents so abruptly because Martian Manhunter has only been on Earth for a short while and maybe he doesn't know the deal with Santa yet, so he doesn't want to spoil the magic for him. That's actually quite heartwarming, isn't it? That even a being as powerful as Superman still acts like a giddy child at Christmas and wants to keep the magic alive.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it'd be really great to end the video now and leave the audience watching at home with that warm, fuzzy feeling and the occasional chuckle they'd get thinking, oh, remember that time Superman in that one cartoon, like, looks at his present and then gets annoyed because it's coated in lead wrapping paper. That's quite funny, isn't it? We're not going to do that.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you know what we're going to do instead, Brad? I'm going to overanalyze a single episode of a TV show meant for kids and use it to explain why I think it makes Superman sound like a complete asshole. Yes, of course we're going to do this, folks. This is the real Christmas present. Let's get fucking into it.
As if we expected anything else.
You thought it was going to be a lovely, heartwarming Christmas article. No, fuck that. I want to use this as a jumping off point to explain why I think it makes Superman sound like a complete and utter asshole. Right, for a start, it establishes that Superman is willing to use his powers to peek on his presents. You think, well, that's not that bad, he's just peeking at his presents. Something he's explicitly been told not to do. And the only reason we know he does this is because Martian Manhunter sees him do it while he's creeping around his house invisible. And Superman's doing it without anyone knowing. So even though he can see through brick fucking walls, he could sit in his bedroom and look down through it. No, he has to go down. He has to have his hands on the present to know. And then he says, damn, lead. And he gets annoyed about it. He gets annoyed about the fact that he's been denied the ability to know what's in that box. How many other times has Superman done this? So this show has now established that Superman will use his X-ray vision when he's explicitly been told not to, when he thinks no one is around or no one's going to notice him doing it. Now you could say, well, Superman would never do that, but I'm pretty sure every piece of Superman media establishes that he looks through buildings. When he's looking for people who are in trouble, like burning buildings, he'll look through. Or when he's looking for bombs that have been hidden places, he'll look through the building. Can he see what people are doing inside the building? Because obviously he's got a super brain that can take in all information at once.
Yeah, but then he's doing that to save people.
But he is, yeah. But at the same time, do we know he's not doing it when he wants to see something? Like, does he want to see Wonder Woman's breast? Does he just look through? You say, no, he wouldn't, but he wanted to see those presents. Because he got told, you're not allowed to see these presents, Superman. You are Superman, the most powerful being on this planet. You're not allowed to see these presents. And he's like, fuck that. Sneaks downstairs. He could have looked through the brick wall from his bedroom, but no, he had to get his hands on them. He had to be there, inches away, so people knew. Looked and went, damn, been fooled by lead. How many other times has someone tried to do that to Superman? He's gone, ah, fuck you. Yeah, it's cute that he tries to look through his presents and that his parents have to, like, you know, wrap it in lead. But the fact they still have to do that when he's an adult, that's kind of weird. Like, as an adult, I'm an adult and I go home and my mum wraps my presents and I will go up and I'll give him a squeeze or anything like that, but I don't try and sneak them open in the middle of the night when no one's around.
Yeah.
Because I'm an adult and I can understand that there's a boundary and that I'm going to open them on Christmas Day anyway. Superman, who's supposed to be like, he's in charge of the fucking Justice League and he hasn't got the modicum of self-control needed to not use his powers to see through a cardboard box. He can't wait a single day. I think it sets a really bad precedent and we don't know what else he's been doing. If he's doing it at the present as an adult, like, what was he doing when he was a teenager and he had even less self-control? He must have been staring at girls, like, getting changed. And a lot of people would say, well, of course Superman didn't use his powers to, like, peek into the girls' changing rooms. But how do we know that when we know he doesn't even have the modicum of self-control needed to not peek at the Christmas present he gets to open in 24 hours? He hasn't got the self-control needed for this one thing. And I think that opens a can of worms of what else has he done this for? When he first started working at the Daily Planet, and before he started dating Lois Lane, did he ever, like, side-eye a girl in the copy room? And she said, oh no, Clark, you pervert. And then he thought, well, if you're not going to let me see it by dating you, just stare straight through. And you say, of course Superman wouldn't do that. In one of the films, Lois Lane asks him what colour underwear is.
What colour underwear am I wearing?
He tells what colour his underwear is, which shows he can look through individual layers of clothing to see what colour underwear she's wearing.
Yeah, so you can't say you just see straight through the body because he can selectively choose how deep to look.
So we know that he can do that, and we know that he's done it to see what colour underwear is. And if he can do that, that means he's practiced. Because that means the fact that he answered that question so quickly means he knows for a fact he can do it. Because obviously, if he's only saying, oh, I only use my powers to look through brick or whatever. No, he can select, like, he had that locked and ready to go instantly. What colour's my underwear? He instantly went, just, okay, activate the part of my thing that lets me see through this top layer of clothing and not the other one.
Pink. Huh? Pink.
Also, he knew the colour, which implies that he can see full colour.
Yeah, it's not like he just sees like a skeleton outline of you or something like that. He can see the actual colour of a person's underwear. And as well, what does it establish he does when he's flying around the world? He uses X-ray vision to stare through the tops of buildings to make sure there's no crime going on. And you think, oh, well, that's a small price to pay for like the safety of having Superman there. But isn't that the argument people have against Big Brother? Is the chance Superman might see you giving it to your girlfriend while he flies around saving people a price people are willing to pay in that universe? Are they given a choice in this matter?
You have to assume that the world that the Superman inhabits is supposed to be the same as ours.
Pretty much, yeah.
So, do they have a problem with the government spying on them, but not Superman?
Well, I'd say Superman's not spying on them, he's just keeping an eye out for criminals. But then do the government in that universe use the same argument? I'm going to guess the government in the Superman universe loves using him as a scapegoat as well. Like when they put new policies in place that lets them spy on people's browsing history. So this isn't fair. We've got privacy, because you don't complain about privacy when Superman peered through your building last week to, like, you know, rescue that kidnapped girl. Didn't he see you giving it to your girlfriend, like with her bent over the bed? You didn't mind Superman seeing that. Yeah, but Superman's different. Superman's not accountable. What makes him any different from us? At least you can vote for who's in charge. You didn't vote for Superman.
Superman fucking looks at his presents.
Yeah.
How can you trust him?
How can you trust a man like that? So we've established that Superman will do that. Where does it end? Like, does Superman do that? If he's looking through a brick wall to try and find like a kidnapped victim or something like that, and he notices that like you're yelling at your girlfriend, will he come in and beat you up? Will he report you to the police? When you get reported by the police, like, will they say Superman did it? Or will they say it was an anonymous tip? Has Superman seen Batman's dick? Does Batman know Superman's seen his dick? Am I thinking about this too much for a Christmas video? Are people watching this now really confused at home? The answer to all those questions is yes. And if you'd like to give us
Merry Christmas, everyone.
everybody.
Merry Christmas!
I apologise that this video wasn't as factual as it could have been. I know that a lot of it was just me ranting about an episode of a cartoon that came out a decade ago that I read too much into. It was a Christmas present to myself, and I've been really good this year. I hope you understand. Yay! Oh, hi there. This is just a little bonus addendum. I'm going to have a little drinky poo of Christmas port before I leave, because I think this is the last time I'm actually going to see Brad until the new year. So we're just going to have a nice little retrospective on the year we've had so far, while I just drink this port.
What are you drinking the port to?
Well, I'm going to drink to the death of this god-awful fucking year that I can't wait to end. Like 2017, I think for most people, it's been terrible. For me personally, it's not been a great year. 2017 is the year that love died. So fuck you, 2017. Here's to a better one.
Why has love died?
Well, for a start, all of my friends. Oh, that's some good port. Sorry. It's been a while since
That's
I've had...
Josh's port.
Josh, man, you got a good taste. Like, oh, I forgot how nice it is. It's one of those drinks that I only have at Christmas and only with my dad. So, sorry, yes, surprise. Yeah, 2017, the year that love fucking died. All my friends broke up with their girlfriends, like multiple times. Some friends have broken up with their girlfriend, got with a new girlfriend, and then broke up with them again. I feel so bad.
So what about your love life?
What fucking love life. I think I started this year really positive, going, yeah, I'm going to be a single Pringle looking to mingle. And now it's the end of 2017, and I'm drinking pretty much on my own in front of a video camera, wearing a Santa hat while it's dark outside.
Let's embellish that. You're drinking someone else's port, wearing someone else's hat in someone else's bedroom.
Oh, that's actually so much worse now I think about it. I'm in a video drinking on my own, talking about how I'm single. That's the kind of thing you see uploaded to Facebook, and there's people commenting, "Are you okay, hon?"
You've always got me.
Yeah, I was
The
trying
final nail in the
to think
coffin.
of stuff that's going to cheer me up, to be honest, mate, but